For our penne chicken limone, you are going to need chicken, some parsley, a zucchini, your penne, cream sauce base, some Parmesan, a clove of garlic, a lemon, 2 tablespoons butter, and then some salt, pepper, and olive oil. So to prep our vegetables for the pasta, I'm gonna go ahead and zest my lemon. And as always, don't go too far down. You just want that nice bright colored part. And don't forget to always get all of that zest on the other side. And then we're gonna go ahead and just, sorry. We're gonna go ahead and just quarter our lemon and set that off to the side. And then we have our zucchini, and we're gonna go ahead and cut off the top and the bottom. And then we're gonna slice this in half lengthwise. So we have a nice flat surface. And then cut this in half again, lengthwise again. And this is when you don't wanna go too thin when you start to slice, because you want, zucchini can get kind of mushy, and so you want it to like hold up some. You don't want it to just like blend into the sauce. So now I'm gonna kind of cut it about like that thick, maybe like a 1/2 inch. If you want it to blend into your sauce, cut it thinner. If you want to cut it a different way to be creative, feel free. All right, so that is our zucchini. I know those look like big chunks now, but ultimately it will get smaller. Now our garlic, I'm just gonna kind of trim off that end piece and hope that I can peel this without smashing it, but I may not be able to. It may need a good smashing or a light smashing. It does. And we're actually not gonna mince this. We're just gonna try and thinly slice it. Oh, it's 2 cloves, okay. So I'm actually gonna thinly slice this lengthwise like this. So just try and, ever seen The Godfather? They do it with a razor blade. I think that was The Godfather. Okay, so thinly sliced lengthwise. I'll do it with this little clove too. If you want to mince it, you can, but I would suggest just thinly slicing like that. And then that is most of our vegetables prepped. I also realized that there was supposed to be chives, and I did not get any chives. I only got parsley. So, I don't really like parsley, to be honest. Just think it tastes like grass. Not the biggest fan. So this is all the parsley that I got. Most of it, oh, the chives are in there. Just kidding. I do have chives. Okay. My bad. It just looked like parsley stems to me. So those are our chives. And this is our parsley. So I'm gonna go ahead and start picking my parsley leaves. And then once I have that done, I will come back to the video. All right, so for my chives, super easy. You just gather them all together and just give them a good mince. And actually we could go ahead and combine both herbs. There's no need to remove, obviously, stems or leaves from chives. We are literally just chopping up. These are actually the sprouts that come out off the ground with the bulb underneath the soil. This is the same thing like green onions. Even garlic and onions have these same green sprouts, like actual onions and garlic. This is what grows above ground. Just trying to mince up those last little pieces. So I'm gonna add my minced chives to a little dish. And then my parsley. As you can see, I have removed all those tough stems. And I'm just gonna give this a good mince. If you want to keep your parsley and chives separated, feel free. But for me, since I know half is being used in the pasta and then the other half for garnish, I'm gonna go ahead and just combine them into one little dish. Or just leave them on your cutting board. And there we have it. So I have a pot of salted boiling water coming to, it's almost to a boil. And then I have a pan here, and I'm gonna go ahead and heat a drizzle of olive oil in this pan. And I'm gonna add that sliced garlic. And we're gonna go ahead and just give this a nice little stir. And this is honestly just gonna get cooked for like a minute until that garlic is nice and fragrant. And then my salted water, because it has come to a boil, I'm gonna go ahead and add the entire contents of my penne pasta. And this is going to cook for approximately 9 to 11 minutes. And as always, do not forget to save some of your pasta water. And never forget to salt your pasta water. So this garlic, we're just kind of gonna let it simmer in this oil for another 30 seconds. And then we're actually gonna remove it and put it onto a paper towel lined plate. You don't want your garlic to burn. We're just kind of infusing our oil right now and then letting it kind of toast a little bit and create that nice garlicky flavor. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this garlic. It says to wipe the pan clean, but I don't wanna wipe the pan clean. I wanna keep all that nice garlic infused oil in there to cook my zucchini in. And honestly, I don't even know why I'm putting this on a paper towel lined plate, but if you wanna skip this step, skip this step. I don't really see the necessity in putting my garlic onto this paper towel lined plate. And so to that same pan, because I did not wipe it out, because I think that that oil with all the garlic flavor, I'm gonna go ahead and add my zucchini. I'm gonna salt and pepper it. And if it looks like maybe you didn't add enough oil the first time, a little bit of the olive oil, you can add a little bit more. And I'm just gonna give this a quick little toss, just so that all the oil and salt and pepper is evenly coated. And then I'm just gonna kind of let this sit for a few minutes and let this zucchini cook down for about 5 to 6 minutes. And if you find that your pan is getting too dry, add a little drizzle of oil. So you can see that a lot of my zucchini has gotten nice and caramelized. And so now I'm gonna go ahead, and my pasta is almost done. I'm gonna take some of this pasta water, because the pasta water helps, if I can get it without any pasta in it. It's gonna help us thicken our sauce and thin it out if we need. So all the starches that are in there, and I may need to just pour a little bit because I did this kind of in a smaller, y'all probably can't see what I'm doing, so. All I'm doing is I'm pouring some of the pasta water, if not almost all of it, so I have some option of thinning it out. I'll get that noodle out. And I will turn that off. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add this zucchini to my plate with the garlic, which I took the, this is exactly what I'm looking for, which I took the paper towel off. So we're just gonna add this right to our garlic and then completely drain our pasta. All right, so zucchini is cooked. I have actually taken my chicken out of the package and I have pat it dry with some paper towels, because the drier the chicken, the less likely it is to just steam. And I'm gonna go ahead and season this side. These are already pre-cut into strips. Season it with some salt and pepper. And then add another drizzle of oil to the pan that my zucchini and garlic were in. Excuse me. And then we're gonna go ahead, so sorry. We're gonna go ahead and just place this into our hot skillet. And then I'm gonna go ahead and season the other side with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then just cook this for about, 4 to 6 minutes until all the chicken is nice and brown. So now that our chicken is looking nice and brown, as you can see, we have these wonderful little caramelized bits in there. If you have any chunks that are like maybe a little too big, go ahead and break them up. And what we're going to do now is we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of our reserved pasta water. And as you can see, that doesn't even look like pasta water anymore. So that immediately steaming off. And then we're gonna add the entire content of our cream sauce base. I have also turned down my heat to a more medium heat as opposed to a medium high heat. And I have a piece of lemon. We're gonna add a nice big squeeze of fresh lemon juice. And then just give this a good stir. And let it cook for a minute or two until it looks like it started to thicken up just a bit. So my sauce looks nice and thickened. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my drained penne. And then I'm going to add half of my Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add half of that chive and parsley. And then I'm gonna add about half of my lemon zest. Feel free to add more if you so choose. And then we're just gonna give this a nice big stir. Then we're gonna go ahead and add in all that zucchini, and there is my garlic right there. And I'm gonna add in all those juices. And then toss it to combine. And if the sauce starts to look a little too thick, which in my opinion right now it is, I'm gonna go ahead and add in a splash of pasta water. And then we are going to add in the 2 tablespoons of butter and let that melt. And we're just gonna watch this and stir it until the butter is melted, and then determine whether or not we need to add a little bit more pasta water and maybe give it a taste and see if we need more salt and pepper. So I will report back when this has all come together. So my pasta looks great. It is the desired consistency. You can now plate it and garnish it with the rest of your Parmesan, the rest of your herbs, the rest of your lemon slices. I ended up using the rest of the lemon zest directly into the pasta. But feel free to do it however you see fit.